G'day, mate. A bit of a different one today. Hedge trimmers. Now, this is a petrol-powered hedge trimmer two-stroke from Stihl. The guy says this one does start, but it's hard to start. And you want to try and service it. Just make sure you runs right. He's an arborist, so he needs his back on the job about, I think, 4 days. Plus, I got another one here. It's for his pole saw, so I did a head for his pole saw for the chainsaw attachment, and I was surprised what I found inside the gearbox. Now, mind you, he has used the chainsaw one a lot, but inside the gearbox there was absolutely no grease. It probably, I don't know, half a teaspoon, something like that, of dried out grease, and the gears are starting to get tight. You turn it over, you feel like a tight spot. So I filled up about a third of the case of what's in there with grease. Now, I'd say this one would be the same. He hadn't used that much, but he said people complain when you charge them for the hours you put into doing hedging. Now, I used to do hedging with an electric one, and guys, when someone goes, oh, just climb up there and cut the tree. You're up 12 feet up the air, hang off the tree, hang off branches. Nowhere to put a ladder. It's just, it's dangerous work. And so, if you're an arborist such as you, it's going to cost you so much. There's a reason it's dangerous work, so yeah, I was scared a few times when I was doing this, but I'll pull this apart, just try and capture. I'd say that part here needs servicing. It's 4 screws, T27s, but I'll have a look and see how dried out that is, because I've never worked on one of these before. There's obviously a military gear, that big shaft there, a gear that way, I suppose. I'm not sure. I'd say that part there's seals. But I'll have a look inside here and have a look and see if she feels like, hang on, I'll get some gear out. Okay, I found the other day I had a tube of grease I never opened up for steel stuff, for woody zippers, the gearbox on the end of your weed whacker, grease in there. So we'll pull this off, have a look, see if she's got inside, it's dry or whatever. I can't see the other place to service it all. They're all bolts to hold the blade on. I doubt the part there, the handle there would be any part of it. Pretty much it. Oh, hang on. There's a greasing part here. Right, looks like there's a spot here to grease. But I'll pull it back off. There shouldn't be any problem with that. Might have to reseal it. There's a gasket there too. And maybe I have to do that. So it's pointing towards this bolt. I'm not an expert, guys. I've never been one of these before. Okay, it's full of grease, but the owner said it gets very hot. So that's fine, that part there. I'll try and put more grease in there down if I can. It's packed right up. Clean screwdriver. So put a bit more in there. Don't crack it in there. Should have blown that off, I suppose. It's been opened, okay. And a little bit, there's not much room for these machines for expansion. They go berserk. The one back in. Won't charge for that, because really I'm not working, so bit of an investigation for myself. Now, there's another one here I just noticed on the side. I'm wondering if that's, I was saying, a greasing point there. So I'll look in there. I'll get this stuff around my bench. And her what's it look like? It would be some type of gearbox like differential. What you got? There's grease there. I'll pump some more in there. Give us something to think about, because after seeing the pole saw, if there's no grease in there at all, I expect to see it's dry too. But it's not. Ain't time of it. There's room for stuff to expand, guys. When they get hot, there's smoke coming out of those. Just nip that up. That'll be tight. I'll hand check that in a sec. That's about it on this particular head, I think. I can't test it out because I haven't got the hair and pulse on here. Nothing else to look at. That turns to that when you plug it all together. And these are not cheap, I've been told. They're not cheap at all. Okay, I'll have to pinch up. Okay, you pull it. Okay, you pull that to just the head. I'm not going to do that on the bench. No. Why is that? You think they'd rotate, wouldn't you? Ow, my finger. That is so damn tight. T25, T27 I should say. Why is that so unlubed? I would have thought that would rotate in that point there. Oh god, that's tight. Okay, that's me. Bit stiff though, cool. That's stiff. Even though let me know if you know more than that. Is that normally that stiff? I doubt it very much myself. My father had an electric one of these. I had it for about 2 weeks, over 1 year warranty, and the motor blew up. He hardly used the bastard. He did get some warranty back for it, but after a year, they said, no, you want it. You probably used it one charge, I suppose. It looked like brand new. Then you can service the blade. Can't really see nothing like that. I did put WD-4 in it. I'll tell him to do it more often because it looks dry. I always that WD-4 in my blades. They don't rust. Then I hit the machine, turn it on, to lubricate everything up. My hands were empty too. And typical things. It works with this, you go like that, it didn't work with this. It ain't no good these days. Or made like crap. Well, I'll call that, looked at, played with. Are you curious to pull off actually? I will, I'll pull that off because it says it gets hot. How hot is hot, I don't know. But if you're using it for job income, I better have a look. I hope it'll pop off these things without wrecking these. Yeah, not that tight. That was loose, that one. Most of these type of things is the a crank or off pivot hinge, so it goes like that and moves the blade. So what I found there's a part here for a screwdriver at this point. So leave it up a bit. Oh, it should come off easy. I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. Sometimes you pull things like this part, guys, you go, where the hell put the bit here? Very white, hot too when you use it. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Yep, she's dry. That's dry. So I put grease through just there. There's no grease on the other part near, it's all dry. It's been hot just there and hot just here. So, yeah. Take your lid off the back and lubricate the back that way. That's terrible. That does not have to be full, but really it should have grease on everything that moves. And this here moves like offset, and that throws everything back into force. So I'll grease her up. Not berserk, but I'll give her some grease because that's terrible. When you think it tells me it's getting hot, I know why now. It's not pretty, but it doesn't have to be pretty. This has to be lubed up. I think they do this to save money on pollutants and stuff like that. Then the EU, they do stuff like, oh, don't do this, you'll get punished or whatever. You have to do what they say. Obey my authority. That's the bearings. Is it a bearing or just a bush? A bush, I think. Plenty of grease on the bush. but no grease on the machine itself. Right, put that back on. There's a dowel there. Oh, there's nail there. That's why there's a point here. Put your screwdriver in to push it up. Put that back on where it was. That's nice. Now, all off my finger grease. God, there's too much on my fingers. Now, screw that back on. Put everything in the hole first before you start screwing. Otherwise, you might find one that's not lined up properly, and you get, why won't it go in? And you strip your hole. So I'll do them all up in one, which is a minimum in this thing. You also got to make sure all your bolts are the same length of water. Make sure you know where they went. I looked as I pulled them out, they're all the same length. I didn't tighten everything up. So these poles or the chainsaw one, out of here, the part here, he lost the bolt, didn't even know that, to replace that. I should have filmed that. It was dry too. Showing how the pulse oil here now to like test this. But you can tell. Now I put some grease in there, but not much at all. It's still brand name. Probably not the right grease for this particular thing. Because the grease in here was like a golden colour, and this grease here is like a grey colour. But more grease is better than no grease at all, in my opinion. Now, is that a point to pull that off there? I wonder. Sure I'm not. I probably won't. All the moving parts are really in here. That's a gear, like a differential. So you got one small sprocket to a big crown wheel, and here's many parts. So if it comes back to me being hot, I'll pull that part there, but I'll put grease in there so that'll be fine. So we'll move on to the next one. Put it down. That one. Now, he says one hard to start. There could be something really simple. He likes to use, I don't know why, old school thought, 25 to 1, and I've done research and stuff. 25 to 1 for old schools. You get carbon build up using 25 to 1, especially on this modern stuff. I use 40 to 1 because at least just enough oil in the base of your cylinder. If you do 25 to 1, you end up with too much oil, less power, it just buggers things up. First we'll check the air filter. So use it a fair bit, it looks like. There. You gotta think, it's not a heavy dusty thing to use. It's doing tree work, hedges, so if you get dust in here, you must have done some work with it. So, pull that out. Ooh, look at that, really fuel up. I haven't started this thing. Says you might have some spit back. But I'll try and style up that. And that one here, has got heaps of dust. Oh, heaps and heaps of dust. Even use this one. I'll blow that out before I try and start that. And guys. Now, if I said to the guy, look, now if I said to the owner of this particular hedge trimmer, any parts, he'd buy them, but at the moment, turmoil in the world and all that, parts, everything's due, so I'm not going to say you need this part, you need this part. Normally you buy servicing parts. I blew this out and lots of petrol came out of this. Lots of petrol, like it's sprayed. So that probably means a carb problem or means just needs a tune up. Now I can't see where screws are on this thing. I just blew it out, guys. Right, screws underneath, so I go outside and they're plain screws of light. Go outside and start her up and just see what she said. Now, knowing still, it's set really, really rich. So you know where your soil's at, and just the way they do it, it's sent to you when you get home. It's four stroke, no power by the time. It's just still. So they don't tune them at all. Probably they don't think they know how to really. Not like set to what factory says. If factory says 7,150 revs, they do that. Bit dancing and stuff like that. They have the pre-filled bit stuff. I blew her out. It started to fall apart, but she's still right there. We're giving you good witness marks. So I'll put that back on. I want to know how she sounds. Go like that. Don't drop that on the floor, Kevin. Just like that. And click it back on. So, apart from that, what I'm wondering, one of the first things you do if you have a small saw or generator or anything that sits around for a while, check the exhaust. Where's this one? This one. I saw it. Because wasps, they make mud nests inside your exhaust. No, why? Why would anything want to fly up exhaust? It must smell nice from. So this one here, and I know where he keeps this. He keeps it in the locked up box on his trailer, so I'll go in there, but I'll turn the soil downwards because I don't want the crap to go back up in the muffler. So I stick this in here and wiggle around. If mud comes out, you'll sit on the table. So I'll do that. Try and get the camera. There's a bigger table, guys. So we'll do that. Probably not. Don't touch the carpet. All the screen, spark screen. I think someone's been here before because it's got Stihl Hedge silicon in there. Okay, I know what's on here. There's a there's two. There's a spark arrestor actually in that. They label a carbon up. I bet it's carbon up too. I've seen that before, fixed it before. Screwdriver. That's wrench to say. Don't know what size that is. No, I'll get some socket, guys. I'll pull that. It's unthreaded like a bolt. Hang on, I'll get some tools. Alright, it's a 15mm long socket. Fit to that. Probably never been off its whole life. I bet it's all carboned up, and if it's carboned up, you saw can't, or you saw weavy silver oil, they can't breathe. It'd be more like a weavy silver. Like that. Then when I come out, it's all squished in the muffler itself. No smoke come. The wires. Now I didn't probe that much of the wires when I come out. Wiggle. Most guys just pull the thing out. It's less power. He's not dumb, there's a fire to put the bastard out. Can't mind that. This might be a bit of a problem, I have to pull the muffler off. There you go, now, come. It's coming. There. No, it's not coming up. I'll see straight through that. I'll show you guys. You see the light through it? There's light coming through that. But normally they're all gummed up and you can't see light through it, so it's pretty well clean, guys. It's not that. So this is the carby hasn't been tuned properly. There you go, it's more like that. Carby hasn't been tuned, so it's just running rich today. I'll put it back in. Put it back in, and then normally more of a cylindrical like a circle that's weird that opens like that. I can't see, there's no point doing nothing to that. I'll give it a bit of brake clean, that's all I'll do. Turn off a bit. No, nothing to come out at all. No carbon, no nothing. Not even fuel. But for easy as all. So, I've just normally what you see guys that pull that thread off and they give it a little bit more noisier, but you get more power. Be careful at all. You don't want to start a fire. But he's working on houses and stuff like that all the time. Ordinary garden hose to be able to put a fire out easy enough. Wind it back in and nip that up. Alright, okay, we'll nip it up. While I'm here, I might have a look what's inside this gearbox and see if it's greasable or not. Can't see now. There's a gasket there, I think. Yeah, there's a gasket. But is it designed so you can service the thing? I can't send that much, but I guarantee she wants to grease. Well, I'll pop that off and have a quick look. Can't help. If it won't come off because the gasket, I'll leave it. But if it comes off, I'll be holding the bar on actually. That's right, just there. I'll move my fingers. I'll do that. Have a look. See what the grease is doing. Now, it might work for this one here. If you get your own brand name, be careful what you pull apart. Sometimes it doesn't work like this. They're not all the same, all different models. Now what the model is you pretty sure on the front of the first part of the video. There you go, she popped off easily. Careful, Kevin, don't break nothing. Yeah, look at that, dry. Dry. Now look, that's the part that rotates. All the grease is down this end. As you can see, that's all dry, nothing on there at all. And not much that much, guys, but really there'll be some grease. Because it's a in out movement. So I'll put the grease on her. And the dry one's still dry. But not everyone knows how to service this stuff, or been taught, or I've just mucked around. I've worked out over the years what works and what does not work. That will go around the main crown wheel, the small pinion wheel there. Grease that up. Grease in here, because it's like an oil pump in there. Everything's labelled with different bits. I'm not going berserk with grease, but I'm being enough for it to be lubricated. We use these things, use them for at least a couple of hours every time we use them. That should be enough. Put that back together. Didn't bust the gasket. I might wipe the old grease there actually. I'll do that. I'll wipe the old grease off the plate. Put more there. Well, I don't want that old grease mixing with the fresh grease if I can. It's a bit dead looking, okay? I'll wipe that off. That also shows me how much wear and tear there is, so it's all gone, that grease. I'll make it perform better. Wrong way, Kevin, that way. That way. Little dowel holes just there. Put my screws barrel back in. It's like a self-tapping screw too. A typical late model still like here. Real broad thread. You call broad, yeah, fine thread then wide thread. Now he didn't say this one was getting hot. That's not the problem with this particular one. He just said it wouldn't start. But I will tell him I service the gearbox, get some more grease. And when someone says a service, that's all they do, guys. They don't pull things apart and clean all that. They just glue or grease or nail or not much. Even in cars, you don't do what they used to do. Back in the day, my uncle was a mechanic. You went to mechanic and said, I want a full service of my car. You do the gearbox, you do the diffs, the transfer case, oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, that's a full service. Now full service is just like oil and air filter and oil filter too. They don't do nothing else. I actually had problems with the mechanic saying, I asked you for a full one. Why didn't you do that? Yeah, well, that's not full. I said, what's that? Oh, that's a factory service. The words are what we had years ago and not the same as what we had now. Old days, they would look after you. Yeah, you pay for it, but they'd look after you and tell you what you can and need in the future. So I think that's alright now. It's the same. This is the WD foil on this too. Been using it quite a bit, it looks like. I might put the grease just there because it's towards the gearbox end. Work its way back though. And I'll give them a bit each one. The part of the wiggle back with the forwards. And hopefully I can start her up. But we'll turn you WD-40, cover the whole thing, or inox or something. Not nothing. Alright. So we'll go outside and see what she's doing. See what she sounds like. And before I go outside and start, I'll give her the WD-40. But I don't know how long it sits still. I really don't. It could be a month, it could be a few months, who knows. Maybe a lube. Because you love your machinery, your machine will last. Otherwise, look after them, they'll look after you. Try and tell my son. Turn it around. There's a bit of lube, guys. It didn't take much. But every time you use your machine, clean your machine off and give a bit of lube. Especially these things to that. Some of these bushes they cut have acid in their maybe WD-40. They have acid in their sap, alkaline, and cheap for everything. Alright, we'll go outside. Our WD. That's the model number. I don't think I've actually said that so far. So HS45. That's sorry to clear, guys. So we'll go outside and get her started. I'm going to you. I'll probably have to tune this thing because seeing what the air will look like. I think she's running really rich and low. Or high, could be both. Got fuel through there. I've never used one of these before. Okay. So that's interesting there. It's on. So why is he not started? He said it was hard to start, but the switch is actually on. No, I haven't started yet. So fast idle. I managed this one. Try that. Might do it off the ground, I think. I don't know, those blades spinning on the grass. Now if you guys can see me, but yeah. Do the right thing by the customer while the market does this, owns this. That should have started by now. Might need a new spark plug. Take that air filter off. Let's get it running. Get it running. That's all off now. Wet. If I slow dump off. Alright. Now I need the spark plug, I think. Where is the spark plug? Oh, sorry. We'll better not remove that spark plug and have a look at it. Could be all carboned up or whatever. But it might be just a spark plug. A spark plug needed. Okay. I think I'm one of the jokes. Hello, Dane. You look for food again. Say hello to my ring in. You jumped the fence one day. Yeah. Oh, chook. One of the chooks late all the time. Bones better. Yes, you're always hungry. But laying eggs every day. Take a lot of energy to lay eggs and make them. I hope I'm going to be sparked too. They plug out of the off. Come on. That moved a bit. Might hit pliers. There goes still stuff. Yeah, what do you want? You want food. You always want food. I love dog food, love you. I'm gonna get pliers, guys. Can't get that one. It's too tight. One of my mates said years ago, and this is years ago, why I got so many tools, Kev? When I was young, I told him I got a loan for $10,000 and bought a hybrid tools when I was 19, I think it was. That's why I had tools, so instead of going out wasting my time in my life, pubs and clubs and all that, chasing women, bought tools. First boiler, first air compressor, stuff like that. Wiggle on before you pull, guys. Break that seal and that spark plug. Should come off in there. Might pull the top cover off. There we go. That was tight. Now, it's full of bloody leaves and hair. Why is there hair in there? I'll pull that spark plug out. Hopefully. Don't tell me that some stupid design I can't get access to it. There you go. Because once the guys know you got tools, people start going, colour in this, colour in that. It's surprising what people are trying to get you to do. Especially if you own a water. Right, come on. Don't these ones ever been out. This is wet. Wet, wet. Wet, wet, wet. Okay. Not bugging or nothing like that, not calm, carboned up, just wet. So I wondered if you actually got spark. I'll turn the ignition point off because I don't want spark jumping from there. Into a pull. Now that should have blown all the fuel out. I'll clean this carby up and I'll screw back in until it's just right. Okay, I found an old spark plug that I know that works. I've cleaned it up. Well, I brushed it, buffed it. But I know this one was. Should be flooding out that's been turned over so many times. When you fire a bit of fart. Once it runs on tuna. Get that in the hole. Finally. Same spark plug before, NGK. Number 7. And the rest of the numbers BP something. How to get through both things. Nip it up. Nip, nip. Don't. Just like that. Don't. Try that. So. I can't get them all shake, guys. I'll have to go out in sunlight. You'll be able to see better. I can't. Me there. Hope she'll start up. So you see what she sounds like and give a bit of tune. Yep, alright. There's that. It's a bit. things, guys, always put your air filter and stuff back on before you tune them, because it changes so much. The air filtering system on these are quite dense, so air can't get through that well. That sounds right now what it is, but once you put all this stuff back on, run even more richer. Put it back on, and I'll start back up and I'll get back to you. Hang on. I'll tune it up. Who watches these things, but guys, I appreciate you watching, hanging around. This is what frustrates me all day. It's to me, it keeps me going. You do stuff, but most people get shit in the throat, so start back up. She's still warm, but I want to tune it now that I've got all the air filter and stuff back on. Just start, alright. Look at fire. A little low. Really low in. A little more fuel. Stiff through. I'm down to the high now. Look at that. That was before. Then let's just start it again. To do. There, I've leaned the low out just a tiny bit, and I've leaned the high out just a tiny bit too. So she's running a bit leaner, but she's still force rating and she's idling properly. The higher revs are not good for these things. They sort of have a load when they cut. But apart from that, she's going, so give these back to the guy who owns them. Alright guys, over and out. Thank you for watching.